Well, hey folks, this is John with Ozarks Backroads with you. We're back out in the woods again today. This time we're on the mighty Ibex, our CFMOTO Ibex 800T. We've got it out with us and we're down in northwest Arkansas this week. I'm camped out at Harrison, Arkansas. I got a little place there and a pretty nice spot. But today we're down on the Buffalo River. Just a beautiful area. So we'll take a look at a couple of these rivers, and then we've got a nice surprise. We've got a big natural arch to go see later this afternoon. It should be pretty cool. So stick around, we'll jump on the mighty Ibex, take a ride in the Ouachita National Forest here in northwest Arkansas. So we've got our Ibex out with us on this expedition this week. I've got some stuff on it, but I'm not I'm not real heavy. Just camera gear and some tools and stuff, tubes, things I might need possibly. But not bad at all. It doesn't seem to affect the Ibex too much. When you get a little bit on it, it doesn't get real nasty to deal with. See if we can get loaded or get mounted up here and we'll get underway. So we're west of Jasper and almost to Ponca, Arkansas right here. We're going to run down and take a look at the Buffalo River down here. We got to drop off this mountain, switchbacks and pretty steep coming off the mountain down here. And it'll drop us right into Ponca, Arkansas. There's a really nice campground down here on the Buffalo River. At Steel Creek, the Steel Creek area. They've got it closed. They're working on the access road today. Got it all tore up. Drop off the mountain here down into Ponca, Arkansas. The Buffalo River runs through Ponca. Not a lot of water in the rivers today. They haven't had much rain at all in this neck of the woods down here in the last couple of months, so the rivers are pretty dry. This little road is not messing around about the corners. They got some good ones on it. There's gravel right in the middle of that one. Good place to dump your gravel. You can see the Buffalo River Valley there. That's where we're headed, down into that. Just a beautiful area, really rugged down in here. A lot of up and down, pretty big mountains. As far as the Ozarks go, pretty big mountains. All right, well here's the bridge over the Buffalo River. And there's just not much water in the Buffalo. It looks pretty sad. It looks really sad. I don't think it's even floatable right now. We'll go in here and take a look at the river access and the old bridge over the river. Let's go take a look at the bridge and the river down here. I don't think there's a whole lot to see today. Looks a little pitiful. So this is the old bridge. This used to be the main highway across here. They got the new bridge we just came over. Yeah, this is pitiful. Just not much here. That's the main channel. Everything has its season, and this is dry season. It's still pretty out here. So back in the day, this was a one-lane bridge. The only way to get over the river was on this bridge. It's actually in pretty good shape. The curbing's still good on it. It's not all deteriorated. Yeah, if I'm not moving, my glasses fog up on me. Then as soon as I start moving, they clear off. All right, so here's our old log cabin. It's looking pretty rough. It looks considerably worse than the last time I saw it. Yeah, they're taking it apart, it looks like. They've got the roof off of it. I wonder, they may be going to restore it a little bit, try to preserve it. Let's see what it says about it here. Here's a picture of it here from back in the day, and this had an animal. The front of it here had an animal pen on it and had a shed roof on it the last time I saw it. Abram Villains and his children were among the earliest pioneer families in the Buffalo River Valley, and this log house was built in 1850 for his new bride. Looks like his boy lived here as well, Beaver Jim. And after his marriage in 1880, he moved from this home to his own farm across the river. And it says in the mid-20th century, the family's descendants used the house as a barn, with the chimney still attached. This is Beaver Jim, the old boy's son. The old boy that built this is his son. He's an old man here on a mule. Pretty cool. 1914 is when this picture was taken. A couple of his grandkids, this fella's grandkids, were living in it. All right, well, we're going to head on down the valley here and kind of follow the river. And then I've got some tracks that I've made, a map of some tracks through this big section of government woods down here. Yeah, this is just a beautiful bottom along the river. Pretty high mountains around it. Here's a spring right here coming out of the bluff, and then there's an old house next to it. That used to be a log, or was originally a log home, and it's been added on to and then covered with clapboard siding. But the logs are still in there. Kind of a cool old place. This looks like a good place. This is some kind of an old building here. Used to be here. Barely even a foundation or a row of rocks left. Something dug into the side of the hill here. We'll have to investigate, see what this is. I've never stopped here before. Oh. See what this is. I bet it's just yeah, it's like a root cellar. Looks like it's been here a day or two. Got logs and, yeah, logs for rafters. It's from back in the day. Kind of cool. A lot of rock work in here. Oh yeah, them old big logs sagging down. I'd say this has been here a long time. Wow, that's pretty cool. This is an old schoolhouse, Whitney Schoolhouse, and it was used in the 1800s up till 1940, and then it had a fire and burnt plumb down. Not much left. Here's the old steps. I wonder how many kids came up these steps on these rocks right here into the old schoolhouse. Probably a bunch. We'll get a good camera out and take a look at this cellar. See if we can get a picture of all the rock work on the inside. Well, that's kind of a cool old root cellar. It's a shame the schoolhouse burnt down. It might have been pretty cool. I'm sure it was. But apparently it's long gone. What a view up here on this ridge. Just gorgeous. We got some pictures of that with the bike. Really pretty. Awesome country. I got about halfway across this track, or a third of the way, and got up here to take these pictures. Well, I checked my audio recorder, and I didn't have my audio recorder turned on. And I went over some really beautiful areas getting up here, so I'm going to go back down. We're going to do this right, and we're going to get audio for it. Got an old truck sitting here, just kind of hanging out. That'd make a cool log truck. Who knows what it's been in its life. There's nothing on the bed anymore, but looks like a 60s model, 50 or 60s, probably a 60s. So right here's a rock wall that runs, it's about a 1/4 mile long, pretty long, runs along. That used to be a field that was farmed back in the day, and these are the rocks that they cleared the field. They pulled out of the field so they could farm, and they stacked up and made this wall, and it's about a 1/4 mile long down through the front of this. But it's been a long time since that was a field and been farmed. It's probably been 100 years or close to it since that was a farm, and they may have used this area right down here too. Pretty good looking ground. That's pretty common in Europe. You see them rock walls everywhere in Europe, but here in the Ozarks you don't see that much of this. There's a few sections that haven't fallen over yet. The trees have come up and kind of pushed on the walls and knocked them over. That's pretty cool though. It's hard to imagine that was a big field that was farmed at some point. But it was. Yeah, that's just same as a vertical drop right off of the shelf here. We're just on a little ledge. This is definitely the road less traveled right here. All right, we are just about to the bottom. I'm going to turn around here while the turning around is good. We're going to head back up and continue on and see if we can make our way to the Little Buffalo River. Ooh, here we go. A little second hill or second gear climb. This is wonderful. Yeah, this climb, it's a long one. It keeps giving. Some rocks hanging out of the road. Yeah. Whoo! I mean a long hill. This thing just keeps going. The suspension on this bike's just pretty darn good. It's impressive, especially for the price point. It's the KYB suspension on this, front and rear. About 200 mil of travel, about 8 inches. So that's pretty good for a mid-size adventure bike. That's not bad at all, and it's fully adjustable, and it's sprung well. And that makes all the difference in the world. The fueling, on the other hand, well, it's just abysmal. I've just had to find something I like about it because it's just the way it is. There's an old log. Oh. An old log house, little log cabin right there. That one there looks pretty darn nice. All right, well, here off to the side of the road, got a little log cabin. Looks like it's been here for quite a while. It's pretty cool. It's still got the chinking in the logs. It's still chinked up, sealed up. Looks like it's probably was lived in not too far ago, you know, too long ago. Pretty neat. It's even got the old, it looks like the handmade windows in it. 6 panes there. Pretty neat little cabin. Now that's kind of a neat little cabin. It was still all chinked up real pretty. Pretty good shape. It's going down into this bottom pretty quickly. Really steep. Woohoo! Look at this. Wow. That is something. Look at that view. There ain't no way I'm not going to get a picture of this. We got to keep moving. It's getting too hot not to be moving. So we're on the side of a mountain here. It's pretty much straight off. And the mountain's just kind of falling down, looks like. Heading towards the river, as mountains do. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're off the steepest part of it. It's just starting to pan out a little bit. There wasn't no turning around on that hill. Just was not going to happen. This would be an excellent trip on the KLX, the 300. Be no stress. Just rip through here and not worry about a thing. I get a little stressed on these big bikes. This is definitely a secondary road. It's not a main secondary road. I did notice that those places we just passed, there were no mailboxes. So that means that the mailman ain't going down that hill or up that hill either. He's not coming down here. Which doesn't surprise me. That's a pretty steep, stinking hill. Here we go. Big time steep right here. All right, this is going to be the steepest, this last little bit with the loose stuff on it. We can just let her roll. We got a hairpin at the bottom. Perfect. But at least it's not real steep. You can see where everybody's been spinning their tires trying to get up that. Here we go. The river is bone stock dry. I mean nothing. There may be water underneath, but there's nothing on top. Look at that. I believe this is the Little Buffalo River. And it is not happy. Who'd have thought there'd be a climb getting off of the creek or off the river? Ooh, don't go off of that. Tell you what, the temperature, what is it, 93 degrees. Humidity's, I don't know, 93%. It's hot. It's really hot. What an adventure across this track. I tell you, that was some seriously beautiful country. Look at all them mailboxes That road runs back up on that hill, and the mailman won't go up there. It's too steep. So they got to put all their mailboxes down here on the lower road and then come down and get their mail. That's how that works. It's been so dry here, the elm trees are dropping their leaves. The leaves are coming off of them. We're going to run into Jasper, Arkansas. It's not too far up the road here. See if we can score some groceries. And I believe we've got a place to eat right here. Ozarks Cafe, if they're still... Looks like it. People are coming out of there. What's this? Well, looky here. All right, we had a pretty good lunch there at the diner in Jasper, Arkansas. I've headed down south, and I've caught my highway to take me to this natural arch. It's called Alum Cove recreational area. It's got a cool natural arch from an old cave where the ceiling of the cave collapsed and opened up the back half of the cave and left the front half intact and just left an arch standing there at the front of the cave. Pretty cool spot. This is our turn right here. Well, we made it to the natural bridge. This is the top of it. You can actually walk across it. They used to use it as a road years ago, or a trail, I guess, wagon trail, what have you. But no more road to it or from it today. It's a pretty good hike to get down here. Here's some of the trail up through the woods we came down. It's not a bad hike. It's a lot of rocks and roots and stuff in the trail, but it's okay. Really cool shot right here from below. We're just about to climb up in it. You can see the arch above going across. And then the opening behind it back in there where it collapsed. Something that I think's kind of interesting, if you look at the face of the edge of the outer edge of the old cave. This is the entrance from the old cave. The outer edge is all broken and jagged, and it's kind of falling apart, little pieces here and there coming off of it. So it's been there exposed a long time. It's really rough, and you can just tell it's weathered. When we look at the back side, the part that fell in back here, we look at that edge, it's a different story. So here on the floor of the cave, you can see all the rock that came down when that collapsed. Just big boulders and rock everywhere, big slabs of rock that came down. That would not have been a good time to be in there for sure. So we're inside, we're in the back of the cave. This is the area that fell in. This is the bluff side. Look how clean that is. It looks like it was just sheared off just recently. There's no craggly, cracked up, weathered rock or busting up or anything in that edge. It's clean. And then if we look at the arch itself, this edge is clean as well. It's not all jagged like it is on the outside. It's not been exposed to the elements like the outside edge has for nearly as long. folks, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, taking a ride across the National Forest there. That section of National Forest, really pretty. Just some beautiful country down here in northwest Arkansas. And then the natural arch here at Alum Cove is a pretty cool old cave that's fell in and left the arch at the entrance. It's pretty neat as well. The hike up out of there was a little rough. It's pretty hot out. I just took my time though, and I didn't die or anything, so it all worked out good. I invite y'all to come back and see me. I'm gonna make a break for the air conditioner. I've had all the fun I can take for one day. So come back and see me. We'll jump on something and go somewhere. Till I catch up with you again, y'all take care of yourselves. We'll catch you next time.